Today I have a new album review, and it's for the symphonic metal band called Liv's Eyes. The new album is called Myths of Fate, and it was released on March 22nd, 2024. As always, I will be going over a little history of the band, and I'll talk about the album, the tracks, and I'll give my final thoughts and score. I guess if I had to compare this band to others, I would say they're similar to bands like Nightwish and Epica. I would say their sound is more similar to Epica because this band likes to contrast the operatic female vocals and the harsh death growls of the male vocals. This album also revolves a lot around Norse mythology, so there will be some mini history lessons in this video, as I usually like to do. This band has been around for about 20 years. The original frontwoman was Liv Kristine, who was from the band Theatre of Tragedy, which is a Norwegian band that dates back to 1993 and one of the first Norwegian female-fronted bands. The rest of the band consisted of members of Atrocity, which is a German death metal band. So I found it interesting that this band came out from the merger of two bands of different metal backgrounds. They released 9 albums so far, and the current vocalist is named Elina Siirala, and she's been with the band since 2016, and she was the front woman for the last 3 albums. The only member who has been a constant in the band is Alexander Krull, who plays keyboards and does the male death growls. Let me also say his last name made me think of that fantasy movie from the 80s called Krull, which I used to watch all the time when I was younger, plus it gives me an excuse to show some short clips from this movie. Now for the album, there are 11 songs. There is also instrumental versions of the same 11 songs, but I'll just be focusing on the 11 studio tracks. The opening track is called Forged by Fire, and my first impression was that this was some epic fantasy music with the orchestration in the intro, and it's followed by the heavy guitars. The sound consists of light keyboards and heavy metal guitar riffs. Right from the start, they alternate between the operatic female vocals and the harsher male vocals. The song is about a magical sword from Norse mythology called Tyrfing. I thought they did some interesting things with the vocals, and there was a mix of clean singing, harsh death growls, and spoken verses. The song is a music video that's very epic. The video shows the band playing in front of a castle. There's a lot of fire in the video. They have a lot of epic battle scenes shown throughout the video. The next song is called Realm of Dark Waves, and this one has some elements of folk music and power metal. The song has a fast rhythm, and there was a contrast between the keyboards and the guitars. The song is about Ran, the goddess of the sea. The song also draws inspiration from Norse mythology. The song was very memorable. The song had a catchy chorus, and there was more of a focus on the operatic vocals. There were also parts of the song with quiet orchestration and softer singing. This was one of the more melodic songs on the album. Let me also mention that the drumming stands out on this song. The song also has a music video, which is very epic. Again, this time the band is playing on a beach. The video has some underwater scenes showing the goddess of the sea and other scenes with these tall cliffs looking over the water waves. There's a lot of beautiful scenery in this video. And after this is a song called Who Wants to Live Forever. The song is about Idun, the goddess of youth. According to the myth, she has magic apples that help people stay young, and she's also associated with fertility. The song is a straightforward symphonic metal song. It's a little more on the laid-back side, but I wouldn't call it a power ballad. It's a melodic song with a focus on the operatic female vocals. The music video shows the band what appears to be playing at the bottom of a canyon, and this also shows the goddess holding the golden apples, which is part of the mythology. After this is a song called Hammer of the Gods. The song is about Mjolnir, or Thor's hammer, which is a symbol of Thor's power. It is said to have the power of lightning. This was one of the songs that featured the contrasting male and female vocals. I would say this one had more of a guitar-centric sound. There were lots of heavy chugging guitar riffs, and the orchestral elements were more in the background. I thought this was one of the better songs, and it showed their heavier side. But that's not to say it was all heaviness. There was part of the song that featured softer operatic singing and lighter orchestral parts. The song also had a guitar solo that was very melodic. The song has a music video which shows 2 warriors getting ready to fight in the middle of a frozen lake, and it has the band playing in this mountainous region which has a lot of beautiful scenery. At this point we're about halfway through the album, and the next song is called In Eternity. This was a softer song, and it showed off a quieter side of the band. Song had the bass guitar as an important element of the sound, as well as some catchy choruses. This was one of the more accessible and radio-friendly songs on the album. There is another music video which is very impressive because the band filmed 5 high-quality videos which kind of look like high-budget music videos with all this beautiful scenery. This video has some just great images of these mountainous regions, and to show parts with tribal dancing. Next is Fae Serpent. This song is about Jormungandr, also known as the Midgard serpent or world serpent, a giant snake that encircles the world by biting its own tail. This was one of the more melodic songs. There were some folk elements in the song as well as some heavy guitar riffs and orchestration. The song had mostly female vocals in the first half of the song, and some parts of the song had male vocals. This was one of the softer songs, but so far I wouldn't call any of these songs a ballad, as they all had softer and heavier moments. But if you're waiting for a proper ballad, this is the next song that falls under that category, and that's called Goddess of the Night. I believe the song is about Naut, the goddess of the night, sleep in dreams in the underworld and death. And her name was not actually mentioned in the lyrics, but this is what I just researched. And the song has soft orchestral parts and operatic singing. There were some epic parts of the song with some heavy guitar chords used in the second half of the song. The next song is called Sons of Triglav. This is about a Slavic god that had 3 heads. This was one of the heavier songs and the first song on the album where the male vocals were in the first verse and they were later accompanied with female vocals. Songs showed off more of their death metal roots, but with a heavy symphonic sound. Most of the verses had heavy male vocals, and it was a nice contrast with the softer female vocals that were more dominant on most of the other songs. Next is Elder Spirit. This is a power ballad with soft vocals contrasting with heavier guitar riffs. I believe the song is about a Hald Mower, a matriarchal tree spirit and deity. The spirit is said to live in the elder tree and have the power to perform magic. This was not mentioned in the lyrics, but it was just what I interpreted. This was one of the songs that had a nice balance of the heavy and the light, which had both male and female vocals, which were sometimes sung in a duet fashion. Next is Inherar, a song about the Inherar, who are those who have died in battle and brought to Valhalla by Valkyries. Song has some folk music elements in the intro, as well as both the male and female vocals that showcases the heavy and light elements of the song. Song has a lot of melodic parts as well as some traditional symphonic metal elements. Song also mentions Fenrir, a wolf used in Norse mythology, and Surtir, the leader of the giants. This was one of the more epic songs on the album. It had everything you would expect from the band, which included heavy guitars, symphonic orchestration, and folk music sounds. There's one more song on the album, and it's called Sail with the Dead. The song is about Naglfar, a boat made entirely from the fingernails and toenails of the dead, which sounds kind of gross. It was another very epic song that had contrasting harsh male vocals with operatic female vocals. This one had a bigger sound with some darker tones. I heard some black metal elements in some of the guitar playing in one part of the song. I think they wanted to have a darker tone as opposed to some of the more uplifting tracks. And now for my final thoughts. I think when you first hear this band, you'll think they sound like the bigger symphonic bands like Nightwish and Epica, but I think with this band it's important to read and or listen to the lyrics because the songs tell a story. There's a lot of history and a deeper meaning behind all these songs. Now this is the first album I've listened to from this band, and all the songs were from Norse mythology. So I don't know what the lyrical topics are for their other albums, but it's definitely interesting, and I'm glad that the band released all of the lyrics for the songs because it helps when you read along. So I thought it was very good. My score is going to be an 8 out of 10. It's enjoyable. I thought it was a very strong album. So that is all. Check out this video right here. Thanks for watching. Please like this video. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Please subscribe if you're not already. I do rock and metal reviews, rankings, and more. I'll see you in the next one.